Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today is a special day, actually, my birthday. I am a 33-year-old boy. I'm kidding. I'm a man now. I'm a 33-year-old man. I'm 33. So I was looking at this page and I saw a comment from someone who asked about if I did conversions on Black Series, Master Replicas, and whatnot. And I was like, man, that's a video I've been meaning to talk about. I do. I've done quite a few, mostly Vaders, lots of Darth Vaders, kits, or not kits, but the old Master. This is a Master Replicas Vader. I've done a couple Black Series as well, and this is the one that you got back in the day. I mean, this might be a 2004 Master Replicas. 2004, 2005 is the Empire Strikes Back version. But these ones, along with all the other ones that they did, especially the Black Series, the blade is inside permanently into the hilt. You know, you could buy the big long boxes and it had the character on the side of the box, and there's a bunch of like styles. I think they had, you know, Luke and Vader, that god awful thick neck Return of the Jedi one, if you guys know what I'm talking about there. But they're still really cool hilts. They can be cool with just a few upgrades. You can have them just like any other custom saber that I've showed on my channel so far. You can get a conversion kit. Well, it's more like a socket. You need to tear everything out, pretty much. You pretty much have to gut these things. Take rid of all the the inside speakers, all that stuff. I just chunk it. I know some people, I believe Shamim back in the day used to keep them. I know he's done that a couple times where he kept the stock soundboard and just put a Tricree in and lit it up, and I was like, that's cool, but like if you're gonna do it, I would just upgrade the whole thing, because I mean, you want this thing to scream and be beautiful like a movie prop, not like a toy. So what you usually end up having to do, and you can get at the custom saber shop, is to get a 1-inch blade holder that slides in, and then it locks in certain ways depending on which hilt you get, and then that gives you the ability to put the 1-inch blade in. You can either do a Tricree setup where it's just a standard, I got a blade from Saber Forge. This is for like dueling. This is just for a Tricree, just to fuse material in it. No lights in the blade. This is a Tricree again, but you can do NeoPixel builds on these hilts, because I mean, it's just a man. I can't get rid of that hair. It's just a matter of putting the whichever light system you want in it. As far as a Tricree, like I have in here. Got a deep red, white, or no, I'm sorry, it's a deep red, which is cool. I highly, that's probably my favorite configuration of the reds, because you have like that deep red, and then when it clashes, it's just a bright red. So it's really cool back in the day. I'll get in and cut this on. I know everybody wants to see a blade and whatnot, but this is more talking. This episode, this Benji Nerf Herder episode is this is more of just a discussion on what you can do with conversion sabers, like this one here as well, which is very common purchase. I think even I may have even got this from like GameStop. They sold it for like $60, and I was like, man, that's a steal, because I'll convert it, and there you go. So this one has a blue, white, and I modify the clamp. I modify the switches because you might have to do your own switch solutions for some kits, which to me is pretty simple with these. Just if it's a one button, my button is underneath that clamp in the bubble strip, and then you had to get this whole core is specifically for this, and it slides into about, you know, here, and then you bolt it in and you're good to go. And these can be dueled with. They're dual. You can duel with these sabers. You can beat them up. And I added some extra. I got obviously the thumb screw and the glass eye, and then I actually added. I want to say these grips are Corbanth grips. Yeah, I think that's the one thing I did was I took Corbanth grips from like a Corbanth 2.0 kit, and I trimmed them down. Not the best, but I did this. Man, I did this saber like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe. It's been a minute. Anyways, so what I installed into the Vader Master Replicas is a Nano Biscotti version 4, and I kept the Tri-Cree because at the time I was doing a lot of upgrading the NeoPixels, and I was like, I don't want to lose that deep red, and it's cool. I don't deal with this thing. This is just a showpiece for me anyways, swinging around. So I just was like, you know what, let's leave it and just upgrade the Nano Biscotti version 4.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
And man, this saber has weight to it. This thing is heavy. Probably one of my heaviest sabers. Because I mean that the 1-inch blade holder that goes in, you know, it's about that much of, you know, solid aluminum added to it. Oh, down here. Blade plug I made. One of those Razor turbine blade plugs. Oh, I love this sound font. This is by Juan Sith. I think this is ESB Legends or ESB Gold. He has an Empire Strikes Back font that has a like a type of Vader breathing in the background, which is really cool. You can hear him, and you can hear Bespin, like the chambers beeping in the background. The thing I love about it, back in this again back in the day, this is I had this before Smooth Swing. I mean, this is like a year before Smooth Swing was a thing, and I loved the way it felt swinging. This is still a good sounding font to swing around. It's just mixed well. The breathing's cool, but I loved it. It makes it feel like you're in there, you're in the chamber, and I'll hit some clashes too because it has. So the Nano Biscotti doesn't do quotes like, or it can for boot up. It doesn't do like force waves because there's no auxiliary or blast. So this font has a bunch of clashes that you can put on your font, or I think it might come on it actually as is. But there's a clash and it'll activate a random quote. So to me, that was like, this is so cool. It's so real. Like, I'm there. But this is what I mean about swings. Oh, it just felt so good. Alright, let's get some of those random flashes.
Destroy you. Now, release your anger. Only your hatred can destroy you. You understand well. You have controlled your fear.
I added that one. So much fun. Nano Biscotti has 3 sound banks.
Presence have not felt since.
Now, this font is from A New Hope. I threw it on there because it's another one of those atmospheric ones where I believe we're going to hear more breathing, and it's got a lot of quotes and stuff like that. So I threw it on just because I was like, this is my Vader show saver. It's kind of Vader from, I think I have Empire Strikes Back, but this is an Empire Strikes Back configuration. Ooh, got dark up in here. With the long grips and the no, clamp lever and wires and whatnot. But I put A New Hope sound font on it, Empire Strikes Back sound font on it, and a Rogue One sound font on it. Just because I was like, why not, man? Let's have some fun with some Vaders. This is my show Vader for a while. Yeah, another one of the breathers. And again, I love the swings on this one. Oh, dang it. There's a random swing quote. was like, when I left you, I was but the learner.
Your powers are weak, old man.
I love that. Great sensitivity. I still say it. The Nano Biscotti version 4 has really good sensitivity. For a non-smooth swing board, I stand by the Nano Biscotti version 4. I think the swing sensitivity is out of the box. You don't have to adjust it. You don't have to do anything. It's fantastic. Let's get some more flashes.
You can't win, Darth. If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
You should not have come back.
That's awesome. So yeah, you can. So the pommel will thread on and off. This is a Master Replicas, like 2004 version. But I believe it's been a minute. But I've done the Black Series. It'll come in a New Hope looking, so it's got short grips, and the little clamp will be like a 45, and it's got a lever. Same thing. And people make chassis for these. This is one of the chassis that the Custom Saber Shop used to use. They're all in one chassis. Used to be my go-to. They haven't had it in a long time, and they don't have a Delrin like black one anymore. That I'm not sure if they have that anymore. You know what? Let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. Oh, unprepared Benji on your birthday, man! You let people down on your birthday. Can't believe you. So I have a retention screw on mine. It's not accurate, but again, I don't care. So the chassis on all these, you just kind of got to figure out. Man, that guy was in there, huh? What your chassis solution is, and again, people make these all the time. Wow, for real? That guy's in there. I don't want to tug on it. There we go. Oh, I put some tape around it just to close the gap. So in there is my Nano Biscotti version 4 and my battery. One of these plastic sleeves to cover it. Speaker. You're good to go. So you push that back in there. I gotta find a good area to where it's not. Whoop, that might have been too much. I gotta find a good distance where it's not hitting the speaker, because this sticks in. You don't want it smacking up against that. You'll hear it too. You'll be like, oh my gosh, that sounds terrible. I might not need the retention anymore. We'll deal with that later then. So that's about all you really need to do a basic conversion. And then of course we got the Rogue One. So good. So what you're gonna do is, I've got my blade retention as this thumb screw right here, and you just unscrew, slide out blade plug, which I made again a long time ago, and now we got a blade. This is V4 Infinity Edge blade by Saberforge. You can get them off their site or get them off Etsy. I believe they sell them on Etsy still, but it's gonna probably come off as pink again. Remember, because yeah, kind of pinkish, but it's a good red in person. It's heavy to swing around though. And you might not be able to tell the flash on flash that well on camera. You can see it on my face though. See how it... That's because it's just another shade of red coming through. That's that Vader. That Vader from Rogue One where he's in the hallway. fire down. Now this is again a Tricree, so it's a little different.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
Because the light will just cut on. Like I said, it's not a string blade. Oh.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
I think I knocked the battery loose. I think I knocked the battery loose.
Much younger.
Or battery might be going dead soon. But yeah, there you go. So this is like I said, it's a Black Series, or no, I'm sorry, it's a Master Replicas conversion that I did. I went to the customsabershop.com, looked to make sure I had the right Vader connector or blade, like 1-inch blade socket, and it was pretty straightforward. Sometimes you may have to like do some grinding and stuff like that on the insides of certain areas, you know, screws and whatnot, or just, you know, it's the name of the game, sliding in. If it doesn't slide in and out easy, you have to modify it a little bit. But yeah, this one I've been thinking about selling for a while. It's uninstalled right now, but it does have the wire switch is still wired up, and I got to get rid of the Tricree. The Tricree, one of the lights went out. But if you look down in there, you can see all the way in the back there is your heatsink that holds the Tricree. So you don't have to get any 1-inch heatsink or a glass or a plastic cover. You just get a Tricree, put it in there. But yeah, you just got to get your right chassis size that you want to fit in there, and then your board and everything. I mean, doing conversions was kind of one of my first few installs. I did so many Vaders. I ended up with the Black Series Vader that came out like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, something like that. It was all over the shelves, and I remember they dropped in price, and they were always available. Like the Luke ones were hard to find. Like these ones are hard to find. But the Vader ones were always available, and when they went discounted, I ended up buying them and making presents out of them. I made one for my brother a couple years back for Christmas, and it's awesome. It had a Prism 5.1 in it, and I had the the 2 switches were in the. I did the rocker in the switch bubble clamp, and same setup, just this sled chassis that came in and out, popped the battery out, and it was good to go. But I love this Vader. I've always loved it. It's more my display dude. Like I have it in a case on my shelf with like the Imperial stand and the book behind it and all that stuff. It's pretty cool. But I don't really swing it around too much because it's this sucker's heavy, man. But there you go, guys. Hopefully that helped out a little bit. Again, you can message me. I'm terrible with names. I forgot who asked in the comment section if I did conversions for Black Series and Master Replica and whatnot. I do, and it's totally doable, man. It's doable with any soundboard you want. Oh yeah, that was another thing. He was asking about Smooth Swing and if they'll take NeoPixel and all that stuff. Yeah, these hilts can be just like any other hilt, but you need to get a conversion kit for it. You have to have a 1-inch core to start with. Once you get that 1-inch core and you get it kind of going, then from there, you just like any other install, you get your soundboard, your speaker, your switches, your light system, whether it be a Tricree or a NeoPixel. And you just keep on going. You build it up, man, and then eventually you got a saber. Hey, you keep it down. And eventually you got a saber that is sometimes unrecognizable as a Black Series. I mean, or a Master Replicas. Because I mean, the Master Replicas are still pretty. They're pretty well made as far as looks wise. Except for like, I never really cared much for the Windu Thought it was kind of fat looking. But I've never been the biggest Mace Windu fan. His hilt to me is just not. It ain't my favorito, you know what I'm saying? But the Vader ones I always stand by. I'm like, man, those Vader hilts, they always are good. They feel right, they feel heavy. Once you get that plastic crap out of it and the string blade that it comes with, it's just dated and not that. It's no bueno. And I weathered mine a little bit. I mean, it's Vader's hilt. It's been around for a while. It's nasty. It's supposed to have some grime, some scratches. That's just my opinion, though. You can keep it crystal clean if you want to. Crystal clean? Crystal clear? Crystal clean? I don't know, man. Quarantine, baby. Losing my mind. Yeah, hopefully that helped out. Hopefully that inspires you guys to look into converting one of your Black series that you have hanging around, or somebody was like, hey man, you want this? And you were like, sure, I guess. Because I mean, they're kind of, some of them feel kind of plasticky. Not plasticky, but like they don't feel as well as the solid aluminum hilts, you know, like something you got that's something solid aluminum hilt. Well, more like this. It's gonna feel a little different, but once you install them and once you modify them, adds a little bit more weight to them, makes them feel a little bit more realistic. And yeah, I dig them. They're fun. They're fun to do. Pretty sure with the Parks, the Galaxy's Edge, they have some really good ones. I haven't really dove into conversions for those because I don't know when I'll do them. I haven't done it myself, and I don't offer to do anything for someone I haven't done for my personal collection or whatnot. But I'm sure it's gonna be a thing. There's a lot of so many Galaxy's Edge sabers. Those canonical sabers, I'm sure people will convert. I haven't really seen it much, but I stick with converting. If I'm going to do a saber, I'm going to do the hilt kits that I have already. So, but I just wanted to talk about that. I know that somebody asked, and I was like, that's a good idea, man. I haven't really talked about Black Series or Master Replicas conversions. So yeah, hopefully you guys dug that. Hopefully see some Black Series out there come back to life. But alright guys, that'll do it. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.